Hey guys, it's Vince with Mastering the Method, and today I'm super excited to do a video on how all of my method owners can expand their build volume to the maximum capacity when printing with one extruder. I know many of you, like myself, have requested this feature, and unfortunately Makerbot really hasn't enabled it within CloudPrint, so we have to find a workaround. Well, guess what? There is one, and I'm really excited to show it to you, so let's jump right in. We've got process number 1 here. On Simplify 3D 5.1, that is the slicer I'm using. You're going to double click on it, and then when you double click on it, you're going to come over here and you're going to see there's auto configure for extruders. And just to explain a little bit about how this works, guys, you can set specific settings for extruder 1, extruder 2, or both extruders. Super powerful in that the software will remember what configuration you're setting. Now, in order to do that, you've got 3 dots right here. We're going to click on those 3 dots, and we're going to scroll down to Assign Settings to Categories. Once you do that, it says Select the Auto Configure category that should control each setting. This is a massive menu. You can see here you can basically configure the whole software to do whatever you'd like with whatever feature is required. In our case, we need to adjust the build volume on the X. So I'm just going to type in build, and as I just type BU, you can see build volume for X pops up, and you can see I have extruders selected. Well, if I click on the arrow drop down, it selects none, material, quality, or extruders. We want, when we select a single extruder, that the build volume be increased for whenever a single extruder is selected. Very, very cool. The next thing we want to do is change the offset for origin. So let's just type in offset, and we should be able to see it right over here. Bingo, X-axis origin offset, and you can see I've got it also set for extruders. So again, you're going to want to set that as well, because these are the 2 main parameters that will have to be changed and configured to support printing in the larger build volume with one extruder. Now once that's done, click OK. What you're going to want to do now is come over to both extruders, and we're going to select extruder 1, and we are good. And then we're going to come over here to output, and you can see when extruder 1 is selected, I've already adjusted my build volume to 190, and the origin offset for the X is also been adjusted to 112. And you must adjust the origin offset, because if you do not do that, it will basically tell you you're out of bounds and give you an error message within your method when you go to print. So we need to adjust this offset, and once it's adjusted to the 112 millimeters, you're going to be set, because again, this is the configuration that we have to convince the printer it's able to do in terms of not using dual extruders but a single extruder. And now watch what happens when I click OK to our build volume being represented here. You'll see everything change along with the Z coordinate system, where again this is representing your nozzles. So watch this. You can see the build volume has been increased, and we offset our nozzle position slightly. So if we come back in again to show how this feature works, which I think is really awesome and amazing in the sense that you don't only have to set this once, you can come up here and then go both extruders, and we're going to come over here to output again so you can see it all happen live. We'll go both extruders, and boom, our settings for build volume for both extruders, you can see the X-axis build volume has been changed to 152 millimeters, and the origin offset went back to 76. So watch what happens when I click OK, and you can see this is all set up, and you can do this yourself with the software and double check if everything is set correctly. So again, guys, this is the first part. Okay guys, I have got 2 components. These are just small spacers I need. I've got 2 components on each end of the width of the build plate, so we can test and see if we can now print with the full build plate volume using only one extruder. Stay tuned, I'm going to go shoot the printer next. Okay guys, as you can see, we are now printing with the larger print volume. And he is just taking off. He's putting down the first layer, and this is pretty amazing. This is something that many of you have requested. I know I have. And you can see he's laying down our first brim on our components. These will take 36 minutes to complete. I'm trying to get as close as I can. Here we go, so we can stay in focus.
there we go, putting down that second brim. "35-minute print time." And it is printed perfect. And of course, the only reason I separated everything so far is so we can see the new print space that we're working with. See if I can get in focus. Okay, I will come back as this starts printing more, but you can definitely see we've extended our print volume.
Okay guys, I'm in Makerbot Print just so you can see the camera, and it's got a really great angle of just how far away these two components are that are being printed to give you a relative perspective of how wide we are on the build plate. It can be done. Of course, you'll have to change your slicer to Simplify 3D. 5.1 will be the latest version, and at least try it. Like I said, if it helps you, God bless. And overall, just to have the ability to do this is pretty amazing. And again, my print speed here, just so everyone is aware, is 2,500 millimeters a minute. But of course, that's the maximum print speed. It's doing a percentage of that. So usually it falls between 60 to 80%, but still, huge difference in print speed. The print quality is amazing. I'll show you that as the print finishes up. Once again, we've got about 27 minutes left, and we'll check it out.
Okay, we are now all done, and the method is, of course, cooling down. I want to just show you the finish on these guys. It is truly amazing. Of course, my brim, because of my speed, knocked into my print again, and of course, I spread these out real wide. You'll notice that looking at the x-axis on the right side, if we look over here, you can see we've got a big gap over there, what looks like a big gap. It's not really a big gap, it's where the extruder heads are in terms of where we're able to actually put down filament. That's why we have that larger gap on that side than on this side. But I assure you, now we are able to print with the full build volume. So what I'm going to do, I just want to let him cool down, and as soon as he does, I'll take these out and check them out. And something else to point out, you can see on the right edge of this spacer and the left edge of this spacer, we've got those little tails. And that little tail is, of course, from slight ooze that's happening because we're covering such a large gap. But no big deal. We'll see how they are to clean up, because overall, like I said, the finish on these look absolutely incredible. Trying to see if the camera can show you the top, because since I've been using Simplify 5.1, the finish with ironing, it looks amazing with nylon carbon. It gives it kind of a sheen. So stay tuned, I'll show you them when they're removed. Okay guys, I've got the prints removed, and I wanted to show you what I removed and I cleaned in terms of just removing the brim. I'm letting the camera focus here. The finish on this is amazing. And I mean, it even, and I'm hoping the camera can pick that up, the nylon carbon even has a shine with the ironing process done to it. This spacer feels like iron. Just amazing. And you can see how far we were to travel to do these prints. And it's truly amazing too that the only amount of ooze we have is right there. And once again, there's so many ways to mitigate this. I just wanted to run the quick test. Overall, I could not be more impressed. I hope you guys are impressed. Now you can use the full size of the build plate. When, of course, we're dealing with one extruder. And again, the finish here truly has to be seen and believed. First layer is perfect. Awesome. So again, guys, I hope this video has been helpful. I hope it's going to let you achieve the perfect print you're looking for, and of course, at the larger build volume. I really appreciate any comments, and please give some likes. It definitely helps the channel. Thank you for your support. Take care.